Hello friends, good evening. Uh, some of you must have seen the post that we are planning to carry out a series which will discuss all the last 14 question papers of biochemistry which have been asked in AIIMS starting right from 2013, and both the sessions of each will be discussed right up till 2019. Now, today I have brought for you a very expansive review of the questions which have been asked over these 7 years in the AIIMS exam. I have brought for you the topic wise distribution of these questions. So, I'd quickly show you how the questions have been distributed over the years in the AIIMS exam in terms of the biochemistry section. So let's take a look at the distribution of the questions in biochemistry section. Okay, so I've divided them topic wise as you can see, and starting with the first section, which generally a lot of us will not even take a look at, and that is the general biochemistry. The general biochemistry meaning the organelles, the pH, the acid-base balance. A part of it is obviously covered in the surgery section, but a very basic concept of acid-base balance will enable you to cover these questions, and a significant number of questions, as you can see here, a significant number of questions, 5 questions have been asked from this section. This is by no means a small number. 5 is a significant number. If from a particular section we are getting 5 questions over 5-6 years, then it is a important section, considering that this is a very small topic, the organelles. The information that you need about pH and acid base balance, very limited information is required, maybe half an hour you need, and you are getting 5 questions over the last 7 years. Moving on, the carbohydrates is by far the most frequently, most extensively asked topic in the AIIMS exam. As you can see, I have broken up the carbohydrate section further, and I have not included the ETC in the carbohydrate. You can see ETC, two questions separately are mentioned at the bottom. I have not included the ETC in the carbohydrate. In spite of that, we have a good 26 questions coming up from carbohydrate. So like I have been saying over the years, the most important metabolism topic is the carbohydrates. Most important metabolism topic is the carbohydrate. You must be very thorough with the carbohydrates. It will take about maybe 1.5 hours or at max 2 hours of revision time to properly and extensively cover the carbohydrates and do all the related questions from the topic of carbohydrates. Going into the details, you can see the chemistry has 4 questions, the glycolysis 3 questions, the bridge reaction, conversion of pyruvate acetyl coenzyme A has been asked once, the TCA cycle 3 questions, gluconeogenesis 5 questions. But the most important section which I want to highlight is the glycogen metabolism. Now this is one very important topic from where every year in the AIIMS exam we see at least one clinical question. And if you have done the glycogen metabolism properly, if you know the disorders and which enzymes are involved, then it is a straightforward 4 questions. If you have not done this topic, you lose the easy 4 marks. You lose the easy 4 marks from this topic. So glycogen metabolism is a very important, I would say a very high topic from the carbohydrate section, which any candidate going for the AIIMS exam cannot afford to miss. You must ensure that you've covered the glycogen metabolism, particularly the glycogenosis, because they will land up as the clinical case. Moving on to the lipid section, like I have said over the years, lipid section is a vast section but infrequently asked. You can see only 13 questions, and that too spread over the large list of topics. From chemistry we barely have 2 questions, from metabolism we have 4 questions, ketogenesis, cholesterol synthesis 1 question. If you have to do one topic from lipids, it must be the lipoproteins. And here also the inherited disorders, the hyperlipoproteinemias is quite frequently asked, or the uh, various calculations involved in the lipoproteins, the different components, that part is asked frequently. So lipids, as far as a whole topic is concerned, is slightly less important. uh, it is a very vast topic, so giving a lot of attention to lipids for the AIIMS exam per se is slightly not warranted. One revision, at max two revision, with special focus on the lipoprotein section should help you out. Moving on to the enzymes, overall from the enzymes we have 7 questions. So considering that enzymes is a small topic, this becomes very significant. You must revise the enzyme section before you go for the AIIMS exam. Moving on to the amino acids. Now generally a lot of teachers and even students put a lot of emphasis on the amino acid, the special products, the metabolism of the carbohydrate, the carbon chain of the amino acids, which have frequently said, if you look up the papers from the last 5, 6, 7 years, is generally not required, and the proof is in front of you. If you look at the questions being asked from amino acids, 6 questions from chemistry, the classification and the properties, which I've always highlighted. Chemistry part is the most important section of the amino acids. If you have control over the chemistry part of amino acids, half the battle is won. Metabolism, barely 1 question. Urea cycle, another important topic which I always highlight. Urea cycle has 2 questions coming from the urea cycle and 2 from the disorders. No question from metabolism of the carbon skeleton. It's a very extensive topic, but very low yield topic, very rarely asked. If you have limited time, don't touch that part, you'll only end up getting confused. Now proteins and collagen, you can see 5 questions, and out of this, if you'll see the breakup, 4 of them are from collagen. So just like we have always done in the class, collagen part is very important. You must know the details of the collagen, particularly what is the spread in terms of wound, etc. So collagen is quite frequently asked. Another topic which I go into detail always is the heme metabolism. So please note, 11 questions from heme metabolism. This is as much as coming from the lipids. Lipids had 13 questions and 11 questions coming from heme metabolism. This is more important than the enzyme part. Enzymes has 7 questions and heme metab alone has 11 questions, out of which 5 are from biosynthesis and about 6 from the hemoglobinopathies and the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation part. So the heme metab and its properties are quite significant. You must ensure that you have a good revision of the heme section before you go for the exam. Another important topic is the molecular biology section. You can see 16 questions from molecular biology, even spread from all the subtopics. Nitrogen basis 1 question, the chemistry of nucleic acid 1 question, nuclear DNA 4 questions, 2 questions from mitochondrial DNA, please note, 4 questions from RNA, 1 from replication, 2 from damage and repair, and 1 from translation. So very even spread in the molecular biology section. 16 questions is a good number. So please ensure you revise the molecular biology section. Moving on to nutrition, the concepts of nutrition and various definitions, properties, etc. have been asked over the years, totaling 10 questions. Now this is a significant number. Various concepts of nutrition are being asked in the AIIMS exam, so it makes a lot of sense to have a review of these topics in the nutrition section. But the surprise which jumps out to us on this review, the highlight of this review, is 17 questions from vitamins alone. Vitamins alone giving us 17 questions in the AIIMS in the last 7 years is a big surprise. This tells you very quickly that vitamins is a very high yield topic for the AIIMS exam. Later on, when we do a review for the NEET exam, they also will find that vitamins is an important section. So please ensure that you complete the vitamins revision thoroughly before you go for your AIIMS exam. In comparison, minerals is hardly asked. You can see a bare 3 questions from the minerals section. Now, over the years, you've also seen that the techniques are being asked very frequently every time a new technique is landing up in your exam. So, at least the techniques which have been asked in the previous years, you must know about them, and you should ensure that you have covered those topics from which the techniques have been asked. Lastly, questions which cannot be clubbed in the major topics which we have highlighted at the top, and I've clubbed them together in the miscellaneous. Some of them you can say can be considered out of course, out of the blue questions are there which have been put in this section. So when we go through the papers, we will be covering all these questions one by one. In the last 7 years, in the 14 papers, as you can see, we have a total of 162 questions. Now the session that will be starting on 13th will go paper wise, and because there are 14 papers, we'll be doing them over 14 days. We'll have a small gap in between of 2-3 days when I'll be traveling, and we hope to finish all the 14 papers one by one by the end of this month. Starting with 13th, we'll have a small gap of 3 days in between, and by the 30th of this month, we'll be finishing those sections. Those who are interested in joining the discussion of the paper, you can find the registration page and details of those discussions in my Facebook page where you're watching this. I'll be posting it over this week repeatedly, so that those who are missing it out can attend it, and you can make use of this session. So keep preparing. Don't let your spirits go down with this COVID crisis. Eyes on the goal. The goal is the midterm AIIMS as well as PGI. We'll see if we can have a series for the PGI also. Some questions last year papers are actually missing, so if I can get hold of them, then definitely we'll have the PGI series session also. And I'm always there for you. If you have any doubts from the biochemistry section or otherwise also, please feel free to connect to me, and keep in touch, keep preparing, and best of luck. Thank you very much. I'll post this review that I have shown you on the page, so you can download it from there, and it can help you with your preparation. Which topics, suppose some important topic you have not yet revised, you can give some extra attention to those topics. If you join our series of discussion, then you need not spare extra time. We'll be covering all these topics in quite some detail in our series. Thank you very much, and once again, best of luck. Keep preparing. We are here for you. Don't hesitate to bring us up for any doubts or queries. Take care. Bye bye.